So I wanted to give you all an update on this Project Skoolie build that I'm doing, and I'm building this so that I can buy some land and build my own house and have something to live out of. Like, how cool would it be to be doing it out of this? So, and I'm learning a lot along the way. So if you notice, speaking of learning a lot, I had all this primed, and then I sanded it back down today, because I didn't know the primer that I put on there was not waterproof. So it started rusting through the primer, and lesson learned there. So I sanded it all off. Tomorrow I'm going to get the new primer, the new paint, and that way it'll be sealed. Everything will be good to go. And then coming over here, I got a lot of framing done this week. I got video of it, and I will be uploading a full length on that. I just haven't got around to doing all the editing, and I'm not done yet, so I'd like to make a full video for that. And a lot of the reason I can't get the framing done right now is because I'm waiting on rivets, and they showed up today. And then I realized the drill bit that I ordered, even though they're 1/4-inch rivets, you need a 17/64 drill bit, because there is a slight difference. And I didn't know any better, because I've used 3/16 rivets with a 3/16 drill bit, but it's the type of rivet that I got from Skoolie.com. They're a whole lot more heavy duty, and that is definitely something I wanted for water resistance and for strength overall. But I am going to say this is the way that Chuck Cassidy was saying to, well, not this way, this way. This was how Chuck Cassidy was saying to do it, and I don't see anything wrong with it, but I will never frame another thing out of ripped plywood. It is highly toxic. I did not know that. And while I was in here using these tech screws, I'm breathing the fumes because the screws actually make the wood smoke. And it made me really sick. So these are darn near the exact same dimension, within like 1/8 of an inch. And these are 2x3s from Home Depot. They don't have all those chemicals in them. So keep that in mind if you're going to be doing something like this. These don't weigh that much. They're not that expensive. And I don't have to wear a whole biohazard suit to work with it. Now, some people are not real sensitive to it like I am, but one of my friends was helping out, and he had a massive headache and was having coughing and everything else. So definitely something to keep in mind when you're doing this. So right now, I am once again waiting on the drill bits for tomorrow. Everything's kind of at a standstill. I've got to get this ceiling figured out. I want to keep the height, but what I'm learning is heat transfers through this metal, so you want to create some kind of a buffer so that the heat's not going straight inside. So I think what I'll do is I'll make some kind of membrane to put on here, just something to offset the heat. It could be a piece of rubber, like some kind of butyl tape type of thing. I'm going to do a little bit of research on that. But once I get that up there, then I can start running my electrical. And I started sealing these windows with, I started using this Quad, is the stuff. It's Quad Max. And I use this on a lot of stuff. It's a very good product. And NP1 is another really good one. The Quad, you can just get it at your local Home Depot, Ace Hardware. So that's why I'm using it. And the windows are sealed up. It was like torrential downpour yesterday, and the only thing that was leaking was these freaking exits that I've got to get rid of. They're leaking through these rivets right here, like really bad, and it was literally like a stream running out of the back of the bus. So what I'm going to be doing with this is closing this up, putting the air conditioner up top here. And if you guys are new to this, right there where that duct tape is going to be where a wall is for a shed. I'm thinking about putting like a little safety escape hatch here, something that no one can get in, but people can get out if they need to. Because if something were to happen up front where you can't get out, I'd really like another exit. And then right here is going to be where the bed goes. It's going to go over top of this. I'm going to build a box, and it's going to have a vent so it can suck air in the bottom and blow the heat out the top, out the front. So that'll be a kind of a backup auxiliary heater. I'm going to have a diesel tank right there that's going to feed a gravity-fed diesel fireplace. and I'll just have like a Vevor diesel heater for the like regular heating of the bus. They're like 90 bucks. So right here is going to be storage space. On either side, this will be like a hallway. This is going to be like kitchen food storage cabinets. This is going to be the stove, counter space, sink. That's going to be kind of like a bar area where you can sit and eat. And then I'm going to have the refrigerator somewhere in here, but I haven't figured that out yet. And this will be a pull-out couch bed thing that I'm going to build. This is going to be a wall right here. This is going to be a tub, toilet. It's going to have everything that it needs. And I'm working on it. Tomorrow I'm going to start, because the drill bits will be here tomorrow, along with a lot of other materials, so I'll be able to start putting the rest of the video together. But I wanted to give you guys an update on the project and show you where I'm at. I am learning a whole lot of things that I never knew about this. It's kind of like a hybrid. You've got, you know, automotive, and then you've got actual framing of a house. Like, you got to mix the two together. It's a whole different animal. So hats off to the people that, you know, did this without any trouble or minimal trouble. But I am doing a little different than Chuck Cassidy. I'm running vertical bracing because I want to run in certain areas, like the bathroom and the bedroom. I probably am going to do like flat panel on the walls, but out here I want like a tongue and groove cedar. This can be just whatever, sheetrock, whatever. But in the, like, I'm thinking in the bedroom, I do want to do like the tongue and groove cedar all the way around, and on the ceiling all the way, of course. But the areas where there's going to be cabinets or counters, things like that, you don't need to put that extra money or the extra effort into it. So I can get away with just putting up, I don't think I want to use sheetrock, but I could use like a Luan board, something like that. I went ahead and ordered a floating shelf bracket that goes perfectly all the way across here. You guys will get to see that. I've got some live edge black walnut a friend of mine is milling for me, and that'll be here eventually. So all that's to come, but just wanted to give you all an update on the project so far. And if you guys have any pointers, anything that you could, you know, help lead me in a better direction, I'm all ears. Anyways, guys, I'll check back in over the weekend, and I hope y'all are doing well.